Hello and welcome to the folding tutorial for Plasma X. This plane flies farther than any other paper airplane in the book. Literally, it will fly up to 150 feet with a good throw. So if you fold it well, if you throw it hard, if you trim it properly, which is just adjusting its control surfaces to make sure it flies as well as possible, this plane is absurd in how far it can fly. So let's show you the plane in flight, and then I'll teach you how to fold it. All you will need in order to fold Plasma X is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper. But if you are using one of my templates, be sure to orient yours as I have mine here. And with that, we'll begin by folding this right edge to the left edge. And once you have made that crease, go ahead and unfold it back to its starting position. The next step is to fold this top edge down 2 inches. And you can see on this other side we have a dotted line that will help us figure out exactly what 2 inches is. Basically, just pull until you just barely reveal that line and try to crease right on it. This is a pretty forgiving step. If you don't get it exactly right, that is okay. Next, we are going to fold this right edge into center and then also this left edge into center, and we're going to make triangles at the top. So what I like to do is I kind of pull this and I pull this, what's going to become a new edge, and I find right where it intersects that central crease up at the top, and I like to tack that down with my finger, and then I swing this bottom corner and try to land that on the center as well. I find that's a good way to be able to get accurate folds, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side as we said. So your plane should look like this. Next, we're just going to fold this top point down to this point right here. Try to control these outer layers. As you pull it down, you might see that they want to fan out a bit. Try really hard to hold them in such a way that they're going to remain tight and these corners stay on that center crease. As much as possible, and your plane should look like this. Next, we want to fold this edge here up to land on that top edge of the plane. And we will unfold that. And we'll actually go ahead and do the same thing on the other side as well, folding this edge to that top edge. And unfold. This was in preparation for what is going to be a swivel crease, or a swivel fold rather, and this will definitely be the most difficult step in this plane. Basically, I'm going to begin by trying to make a crease that runs right along this top layer on this layer. So basically, I'm going to put my pocket or finger into this pocket and pull it up against this edge and kind of just inside the pocket, I'm running my finger right along the paper on that edge to establish a crease that is running along this top layer. So that's the first step. Next, I'm going to begin pulling and swiveling, that's why it's called a swivel fold, this section of the paper here. And basically, my references for this crease is that I'm going to land what is going to become a new edge right here on this crease that we made as a reference. So let me go ahead and fold it, and then it will be easier, I think, to explain to you exactly what you're trying to do. So I'm pulling up and swiveling this whole section over, and I'm going to pull this a little closer to me and rotate just so I can really see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to crease first this edge and then use that to crease this outer edge. So let me show you exactly what has happened. Our paper did sit like this, and we have made 2 new creases. Or well, 3 I suppose since the beginning of the step, because first we made a crease right along this top layer, and our goal was to swivel this whole thing and make a crease about here that is going to land on this diagonal crease. So we pull until we can land that there, and that is our reference. We crease, and then while holding it flat, you crease this outer edge. Okay, so that is one side, and of course we're going to do the same thing on the other side as well. Just pulling up, running my finger along that edge of the top layer to create the crease that's going to run along it. And then I just kind of I pull this whole side in and line up. You can see I'm kind of like pushing this semi-flat, and that helps me to have control over it as I swivel this and try to line it up on that reference crease. And then once I have creased it there, I just push it flat and crease this outer edge as well. And your plane should look like this. Next, we're just going to fold these tabs we have back out kind of at their natural breaking point, right along that crease that goes on along this top edge. You just pull it back out like so. We'll pull this side back out like so. And now your plane should look like this. And next we're going to go ahead and fold this edge here up to that edge right there. And we'll do that on the other side as well. This edge to that edge. And we'll unfold both of those. So now these tabs are something you're going to want to keep track of. These are going to be important tabs to creating the locking mechanism that's going to hold this plane together. So pay attention to these, but first let's go ahead and do the next step, which is to fold this top edge here into the center. And crease. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. And crease. And let me back up again to further my explanation. So you can see now we have these tabs, and they can flip forward into this space. And we're going to use that to lock some layers together. And the way we're going to do that is you can see we kind of have this pocket now on this side, this outer flap, on this side of the diagonal crease. We have a pocket. And what we're going to try to do in the next step is tuck this tab into this pocket. Because when we swing this pocket in, this whole layer in, the pocket is now right in front of the tab. The pocket lands right here. And that means if while this is mostly closed, we swing that tab forward, it will swing into the pocket and hold all the layers together. So that's going to be really tricky to do, but let me go ahead and close this up and see if I can show you in a way that you can see. Here's the pocket right here, and we want to tuck this tab into it. And as we do so, we can increasingly lie this flatter and flatter, and you'll see now it doesn't open. So I'm not sure 100% whether that was on camera. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. So again, this swings closed, and this tab can now fit into the pocket. Try to give you as much light as possible. The tab fits into that pocket. You just stuff it in there, and then you can hold it pretty flat and just finish stuffing it all the way in, like so. Oh, this one's not holding as tight, so I'll fix that. Like so, and now you can see all our layers are locked together. So I know that was really tricky, but hopefully you were able to understand what I was trying to accomplish and how to accomplish it. Next, we just fold the plane in half on its existing center crease like this, and set the plane in this orientation so that we're going to fold the wings. And what we want to do is we want to start the wings a little bit above the nose. If you get too close to the nose, there's a real chance your plane might tear. So start your wing crease maybe about here, and you want it to go about 1/3 of the way up the back. Or no, it's more than that. It's farther this way. And let me go ahead and fold the wing so I can show you exactly what references you're going to want to use to create the shape of the wing. So again, I'm starting my wing crease up here at the front and pulling, and as I do, I want to land this edge here on this corner. And that's really my reference as I do this. That's the thing that's going to tell me exactly how to make my wing crease. Like so. So as I fold, you can see this corner is where I'm trying to land my wing. And boom, there it goes. So I flip it over, you can see again exactly how I have that corner, and I'll just fold this other side to match. Like so, and then we can open up all the layers and you'll see we have a finished Plasma X. So what you want to do now is you want to make sure you angle the wings of the plane up slightly. That is called dihedral angle. It will help the plane fly straight and farther. And also notice that when you let go of the plane, the wings are gonna droop a little bit. And what you need to do is you want to make sure that even when you let go of the plane, those wings are still angled in this kind of Y shape that will help the plane to self-correct and fly straight. Also, on this plane, you probably will need a little bit of up elevator. And what that means is that if you go ahead and bend the back edges of the wing up just slightly, just right and left of the center of the plane, what that will do is the plane will naturally want to dive down slightly because it has a lot of forward weight. These are very thick layers at the front. It'll want to dive down, but giving it that up elevator will counteract that natural tendency and help the plane to fly level rather than diving. So there you go. I hope you found this video to be helpful. As always, good luck flying your plane.